And welcome to another match of Rome 2 for the Freikorps 2 tournament we're hosting. This time we get to see Esteran playing as Pontus against Ryan playing as Rome. This match was played a bit later on in the evening. We have a couple of people with me in the channel, but as I've already said before, I fucked up some settings, enable which well, we can hear everybody else in the video, but just not me. Forgot to put on the capture my mic as well option, basically. For the next rounds, that's all set now. So just a moment, seeing Pontus form up with a lot of slingers. He has 6 actually, and behind it a line of bronze shield pikemen with his noble blood cav on each flank. Rome has brought a couple of Balearic slingers. Triarii, he's just moving everything around still, setting his army up, but he has a couple of Triarii. There's, I think, 2 Praetorian Guard here in there, and a couple of armed Roman legionaries and veteran legionaries. His cav is limited to, well, none. He didn't bring any cav. He did bring war dogs today. It's the first time we're gonna see them in this tournament, I guess. And this video is lagging a bit. Could be the connection between the 2 players. I'm actually not lagging, but it's just the players lagging themselves. And here we get a nice view on the war dogs. 76 war dogs in total. We'll see if they'll be able to wreak some havoc. Well, we do have some cav, of course, for Rome, but it's the general. Doubt we're gonna see him in action. Pontus relying mostly on his cavalry and skirmishers. The infantry of Pontus isn't that good itself. It's going to be an interesting battle.
So how do the Balearic slingers stack up against the Eastern slingers?
Both of them trying to get the high ground. Well, basically Pontus is just ignoring the high ground at the moment. Just yeah, walking up to the side of the mountain, where we probably start the engagement.
Esteran should be able to just envelop and get a lot more damage off.
Yeah, but Rogue. Yeah, but Rogue has a bit of force.
As we can see here, it's a bit lagging.
So he might actually win this skirmish fight.
Rome keeps on marching forward, and yeah, you got a couple of those very highly armored legionaries in there, who are, well, fine taking some hits from these slingers. Should be not much of a problem for them. We get Pontus forming up 2 cav on the left side and 3 on the right side. Looking to sweep in behind the army as soon as the engagement starts.
I just zoomed into the max just because you're not my boss.
That's all.
Then I zoomed out again. If I were Rogue, I would...
And again, the lag is just, well, making everything stutter a little bit.
I think you can deal with the cavalry.
This is the map of Athens, Athenae. It's a preset map. Quite a nice map with some, yeah, little dips here and there. We can hide your forces behind hills and small forests. And the game has been paused by actually both of the players. Not sure what the reason was for the pause. Didn't ask any of the players. Think trying to solve the lag issue. There you can see noble blood cavalry free on the right flank of Pontus at the moment.
That's gonna be...
And that's the bronze shield pikemen in a nice line. They are spread out a bit. In our channel we're discussing a bit the usefulness of it. There's unit collision detection, or, well, bracing, or whatever people call it. But the moment you spread your units out, it's easier to charge them. And for example, this phalanx unit, it's easier to get through the first, well, pikes, so to say. If you have your pikes in deeper rows, like 3 or 4 rows behind each other, they'll do a much better job of holding off the enemy. Might be useful. Look at these bad boys.
Rome and the whatever of Pontus. Was it a city-state?
I'd love to say they were a pontificate of Pontus, just for the hell of it, but...
And the game has been on pause, so we're continuing where we left off. Still the Pontus Scav waiting on the side. Hoping to get a good target for the charge. The other Cav just slowly walking around. Ryan is moving his war dogs forward.
Now, if you
I'd love to see those in action, see what they actually can do against this army, and if they're going to be useful. If they get in there and start eating, for example, at those skirmishers, they're going to deal a nice morale blow. And it's going to be for the skirmishers very hard to get them out. They don't have much that can stop the war dogs. Against the pikes, I'm not actually too sure how they will do. We have to wait that out a bit. If they get that far. Esteran's general on Pontus, by the way, is on the foot as one of the bronze shield pikemen. You can see him now, he's on the far left flank. And Pontus moving forward into the, well, basically a bit uphill. It's not a massive hill, it's a bit of a slope there. Pikemen don't have too much problems fighting uphill. They're long range, it's gonna give, I mean, it's not like they're one-on-one fighting. Charging downhill into pikemen is still a dangerous job to do.
Very cool.
We should say hello to the YouTube.
And there we go, that's a fast fire command, I believe. Actually forgot to check it out in the footage itself. The Eastern Slingers do do some good damage. And Pontus now moves his pikemen in front of the slingers.
Because I could totally see Ryan just focusing on one.
Give them protection. You can see now the first rounds are being exchanged in between the slingers. Rome has cover though from these slingers from Pontus, so they should be able to do well. But Pontus brought so many more skirmishers, and it looks like he is targeting with 3 units. What 3 Eastern slingers targeting 1 slinger on Rome. Oh, there come actually the charge of the war dogs into pikemen. So we're gonna see how that will work out. Dogs and pikes, who will prevail? Oh, okay. Never mind. The dogs are not getting past the pikes. Well, some of are getting a bit past. But that's like, yeah, a waste of a unit, I guess. Dogs and pikes don't work. And the dogs are just getting poked down. And the master's standing on the other side of the field.
That wasn't very effective, but I guess now he knows that.
Yeah, you'll know that for next battle.
Was a charge into the general unit as well. Look, and this is what I meant. He's just targeting with the slingers 1 unit of Rome. Just quickly windering down the numbers.
Focused some of his sling units on that particular.
Pontus Scav now moving behind the enemy lines. Maybe trying to draw some forces out so you can, well, try to advance through the middle or something. Rome basically not doing much at the moment. Oh, the moment I said he's moving out. That's a veteran legionary he's moving out now. It's one of the guys in my channel said so funnily, veterinary legionaries. We had quite a funny picture of legionaries, like, be able to heal animals as well.
He has ordered the charge.
Slingers are ordered to attack the legionaries. Not sure if they're gonna make much of an impact though.
No, the skirmish unit.
And more units of Rome start flooding now to the right flank of Pontus. Skirmish of Rome still taking heavy beating. Not sure if Rome actually cares. It relies mostly on its infantry, which are, well, not untouched, but they're not taking the full brunt of the slingers fighting them. Cavs deciding to go for the legionaries, where the Esteran are really close to back them up. It's gonna be a tricksy one, this. Not sure if Pontus should actually get in there, or just leave his pikemen to do the job.
Blood, that's the best cavalry has, right?
Yes, yes.
There's another legionary unit now moving in support for those for the veteran legionaries. Get it past those pikes.
Oh, we turn this infantry unit, which is quite nice.
Pikes are holding the Romans off for now, but as I told you, the double ranks, and in the middle a bit of triple ranks. It's gonna make it very hard for the shield wall, the pike wall to hold formation. It's a bit easier to get through them. Pontus committed his cav into the fight now. The Triarii are not responding at this moment, and the Legionaries are taking some damage, and they're actually moving away. Pontus moves another pike unit in for support, and yeah, as the slingers still keep exchanging rounds, a couple of starting to rout now on Rome, and one of on Pontus as well. We now get like a small boost. I hope they can stay in there. Veteran Legionary is still in there, and the Praetorian Guard is fighting off the Noble Blood Cav. Both not really taking any casualties and just pounding on each other's shields. Now the pike wall starts moving into the back of the Legionaries, but there is a Veteran Legionary now charging the sides of the pike wall. This is going to do some damage to them. Pontus moves another pike unit close to there, but now one of the legionary units has been able to get around the pike formation and is getting awkwardly close to the skirmishers. In the middle, now we have more movement. Rome starts committing more troops, and Pontus reacting to it by readjusting its pike line and moving up its skirmishers. The battle was, as I said, a bit laggy. So I have these awkward moments of pause where everything seems to be frozen. Gives a good time to check out the field and see what it's doing now. Triarii are actually going for the Noble Blood Cav. We just passed over, like here. We have some Cav sitting on the right side there. Not being too useful at the point. And check out the scenery a little bit. There we go again. And lag issue seems to be solved. And the Blood Cav is charging into the Triarii. That's very heavy spear infantry. It's probably not smart to fight those with Cav. Could be that he's just trying to keep him out of the battle because he's now going for the skirmishers. But there's still a unit of Triarii back there, with the skirmishers trying to support them. The pike wall is basically a little bit of a mess now, and the veteran legionaries are broken through, but the pikes of Pontus just keep marching in through the center and just ignore that unit completely. The bronze shield pikemen are still standing there, and oh my god, that unit is actually starting to rout on the side of the pikes, getting peppered by those slingers. And a back charge we have now from on the bronze shield pikemen. No, they actually turned around facing the charge and actually letting the legionaries charge into the pike wall. It's only double row of pikes, as told before, so it's quite possible for them to break through it. But the Romans decide to abort the charge and go back. And yeah, annoy the shit out of the skirmishers, because those guys are annoying. Javelins are being thrown back at them now. They get a bit of their own. And they almost instantly shatter, start wavering from it. They're not broken yet. Here in the middle we have the cav of Pontus, who charged, has been caught by the Triarii, and in the on the right back side we have the two Pontus cav fighting off the Triarii. Not going too well for Pontus at this point. I think Rome has a good advantage in this battle. The Blood Cav now trying to disengage from the Triarii, seeing they're not being much useful and actually be needed somewhere else. Rome has some strong melee infantry here now, and yeah, it's charging up the side of the Ryan's general now. Esteran's general. And still a big mess here in the center. The veteran legionary is still fighting together with the Praetorian Guard and a unit of Triarii. Noble Blood Cav now charging into the back of that, and another unit of cavalry coming to support that fight. While the middle, the pikemen are still busy. Oh my god! And yeah, the veteran legionaries is now starting to waver. There's a lot of pikes in the fight, and there's a cav there. And yeah, don't forget the slingers who are constantly shooting still. Here we can see some bit of the close-ups. Praetorians with the nice purple cloaks on their back. Looks like the pikemen are piling in on the wavering unit now. They start to waver, break formation.
Yep.
Get scared by the overwhelming numbers. On the other side, on the other flank, it's Rome who has the majority of the units there. It looks like the center of Pontus is falling slowly. The right flank is holding. One unit of Triaria is sitting in the back. Rome is trying to bring it back, but it has a long way to travel. Nice little charge into the armored legionaries. Not sure if they give a fuck about those horses, because they have a lot of armor. It's 85 armor. I think it's one of the highest armor values in the game at the moment.
Because they have technically turned their backs on his Triari.
Rome boosts up his units, and it's again a bit of lag.
He might be able to break the general, and that's big.
The right side is definitely winning for Pontus. The real question is, how fast is it winning? Is it winning fast enough to support the middle fight? Or it's going to be the other way around? Is the Roman center going to be the first one to prevail and then support the left flank, mopping up the remainders of that fight?
Oh look,
The general of Pontus actually wavering at this moment in a heavy fight with well, there's a general unit there, and I think it's Praetorian Guard that we have. Oh no, it's armored legionaries actually. We have there fighting, and yeah, that's the general going for Pontus, which is a bad omen for things to come for Pontus. Slowly, Triarii are getting back. Maybe a unit's coming back from routing for Rome. You can see here in the middle of our screen that one. Depends a bit if the Cav will catch him on. We have some slingers come back from rounding for Pontus, but they're way out of the fight. Skirmish phase is basically gone. There's no more battle line. It's going to be really hard for them to find a safe place to be in. Now the center starts to fall for Pontus completely. The Praetorian are still standing there, fighting off those pikemen, and now finally they start to break after having fought off a lot of units. They had some support, but yeah, it looked like Pontus had this angle one bit harder, but now looking back on it, there's only one pike unit standing there with a bit of skirmishers. Rome has so many units left, this will be a quick one. If you ask me, this should not take too long. Morale is already gone due to the general loss of the general for Pontus. There goes the noble blood cav, charging into the Triarii, fighting them. They don't stand a chance. Same goes to the eastern slingers. They'll just be slaughtered by it's the armored legionaries again. Oh, veteran legionaries. I'm so sorry. Units from distance look quite the same. And yeah, you can see them being pummeled around by the charging legionaries. Same here. The Romans the Triarii make short work of those slingers, stabbing them with those spears. Triarii, one of the elite units for Rome as well. Strong unit, be able to do basically everything from fighting cav to fighting infantry. And there they go. They break formation. They're out, and that's a GG to Rome. Well fought. Up to well, see them back in the second match. Here you can see the statistics quickly.